Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome to our Natural Medicine and Ayurveda Academy and Clinic. Many of you have been here before for our morning wellness routine class. Some of you have been here for our poetry reading class that Dr. Shweta Vikram did, and then also for Dr. Vinoda Kaipa's husband, Prasad Kaipa, when he did a self-development and management class related to Bhagavad Gita. So we were just talking to do another session of that. So today I am very delighted to welcome you, and few more will be coming to our very popular class, the Ayurvedic breakfast for your mind-body type. So I'm assuming that many of you are familiar with Ayurveda, which is the healing sister of yoga. It is the medical sister of yoga, which helps you in first understanding your unique mind-body type, and then customizing whether it's your diet or lifestyle or healthcare for your own mind-body type, so that we are not following one glove fits all. So to demonstrate how to do wellness breakfast for your body type, I would like to introduce your instructor, Gayathri, who also happens to be my instructor in my life. And she has more than 28 years of experience in nutrition and Ayurveda. She completed her master's in nutrition from the very respected Bastyr University in Seattle, which is the pioneer university in naturopathic medicine in this country. After that, she worked as a consultant in nutrition and diet therapy specialist in 3 different places. One is Ayu Medical Center in Seattle, then Goa Ayurveda and Yoga Academy and a clinic in India, and then finally here now Natural Medicine and Ayurveda Clinic. There is a big teaching clinic and also kitchen in Seattle called as Puget Sound Consumer Co-op, which is very much like Whole Foods, but it is very local to Northwest, and there they teach nutrition and cooking classes, and Gayathri has been a teacher for that. She has been a teacher for the Ayu Academy in Seattle, and now here. So without taking any further time, I welcome all of you for our class Wellness Breakfast for Your Body Type. And then you will be hearing about what some of the basic principles of Ayurvedic nutrition are. After that, you will be seeing the demonstrations, you'll be learning about the various ingredients, and the most fun part is at the end of the demonstration and discussion, you'll be tasting the recipes that have been cooked, okay, and then you'll see how the balancing of Vata, Pitta, Kapha can happen. And later on, okay, I'll share some more activities that we are doing. So please enjoy the class. Everyone, please feel free to pick up these handouts, and right before demonstrations, which she will also give you the introduction to the activity. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shanbhag. He didn't have any option, he's married for 28 years, so he has to give me a good introduction. Thank you so much. Today, we are going to, I'm going to demonstrate the Ayurvedic wellness recipe for breakfast, or more than that, from when you get up in the morning all the way till you start your activity after breakfast. Till that time, we'll talk about what all things we can do and what all options we have. So before jump into preparing the recipes, I want to just talk about a little bit about Ayurveda. As all of you know, Ayurveda developed 5,000 years ago in India, and those days they didn't have, the speciality about Ayurveda is that each and every person is unique. We all have different mind-body type, and our each, whether it is our hair, skin, tongue, nail, each and every cells in our body tells who we are. You have noticed that some people are prone towards acidity, some people are prone towards constipation, or some people are having acne, or it's not that everybody is having the same thing. right? It's depending on who you are, there are certain things you are prone towards. So Ayurveda is so amazing that once you find out your body type, who you are, and your body type is what you are born with. Okay, at the time of conception, your body type is made, that is, blueprint is made, that you stick with that for the rest of your life. Okay, because of the life change, because of the environment that you are living in, or the stress and all of that will make your body type go up and down. So that is called as imbalance. When you see an Ayurvedic doctor, he will tell you by reading your pulse, looking at your skin, or hair, nail, tongue, and the tongue is very important in Ayurveda. Looking at that, he or she will tell you what is your body type, original body type is. And they also tell you is that you are originally their labels. It's Vata, Pitta, Kapha, but don't take it as just some name. It is just a label. So we'll look at it, the character of it. Okay? So you have this Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. I wish I have more time to explain you the whole thing, but it is cooking class. I just want to touch that and then go directly into the cooking class. So once you find out your body type, there is something called as imbalance. The doctor will say that, oh, you are Vata person. Vata person are very hyper, very active, very imaginative, very creative. At the same time, the Vata person has, hi Michelle, hello. Come on in, make yourself comfortable.
Thank you. People be here, we just had to come separately.
No problem. So once you find out your body type, and then, okay, I was talking about Vata, sorry about that. So Vata person is very active, very imaginative, very creative, and the Vata person cannot sit down quietly. Always go, go, go. Even if they are sitting in a class, they are moving their legs or they are moving their eyes, constantly active. They cannot sit in one place. They get bored by doing the same thing over and over again. That is a Vata person. They are prone towards dryness of the skin, dryness everywhere. You know what I mean? They are dry, they are constipated, because they are hyper, they cannot fall asleep because the mind is active all the time. They can think about 100 different things at a time. So in the evening also, their mind is active, they have a hard time falling asleep. So for them, they need the meditation, the calming herbs, or taking a hot shower, something like that. And they are prone towards early graying and all of that. So what Ayurvedic diet is going to do is that finding out who you are, and then this hyper Vata person, dry Vata person, very active Vata person, a diet that is grounding for them. Vata is mainly thin and lean person. Whatever they eat, they're always thin and lean person. For that dry, thin, lean person, a grounding, calming diet is what Ayurveda recommends. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. It is not that milk is good for everybody. It is in Ayurveda, all foods are considered gray. Who uses it becomes black or white. Okay? So the next body type is Pitta. We explain Pitta in 2 words. Always hungry and always angry. You have to be very careful with this person. So you have seen, you can think about it, Pitta person, they produce more acid than anybody else. They are very active, they push themselves, they push the world, they think, they want things get done, the managers and all of that, They are very active, they sweat, that is their mind type. The body type is, they are red in color, the skin is reddish in color, they are prone towards skin irritation, or they are prone towards acne, or they are prone towards acidity. They produce more acid. If they don't manage that well, they are prone towards all these problems. Okay? So for this hyperactive, very cooking and Pitta, we recommend a cooling diet. Okay, so if this person produce more acid, they don't need external help from the diet. They want cooling diet. Hi Steve, come on in. And the last one is a kapha person. Last one is the kapha person. They look at food and they gain weight. Okay, so for that person, even if they exercise 2-3 hours, they have hardly noticed any change. Okay, they are well built, they are heavy, they have good bone structure, they are strong, and they have the elements of earth and water in them. So they are easygoing, they work hard, but at the end of the day, they want to sit in front of the couch and just do the thumb exercise. They don't have the built-in, I want to go exercise kind of. So for them, somebody has to push them. If you know in your house your spouse is a pitta and your spouse is a kapha or something, if your spouse is a pitta or vata, you have to tell them, calm down honey, cool down honey. And if your spouse is a kapha spouse, you have to tell them, get going. So they will say that, oh, I will do exercise tomorrow. Why should I do it today? Okay, there is tomorrow. So there is always tomorrow for kapha, and vata and pitta, it's always today. Even in the vata people, if they miss their exercise that day, in the evening, I said, oh, I miss my, whatever, Pilates or anything. I have to do it right now. They cannot skip it. Whereas kapha will find every excuse to see how they can miss that exercise. That is who we are. Once you know who you are, then you say, oh God, I'm kapha, let me get up. Okay? So does that make sense?
And can you be a blend between?
Always, all of us are blend
Okay.
of everything. Maybe we are more pitta, more secondary vata, and third kapha. We have all of that. For example, if a thin, lean person, vata person is, he has more vata, right, dryness and all of that. And then he has very little of the kapha, because kapha is heavy, kapha is moist, kapha is, that is kapha person. So if it's a vata person, he has little of that. That is the reason he is experiencing all the opposite type of the expression in himself or herself. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And then when you are more of a kapha person, you have less of the vata, and so that you are, if you are in a class, you'll go and sit at the back, or easy to fall asleep there. So they can hit the pillow and then go off immediately. So whereas vata, they need pillow here, pillow there, they need their own, they have everything to make sure, to make themselves fall asleep. Whereas kapha, they don't need anything. They can sit and then sleep comfortably. Okay, so we are all a combination of all of this.
And what kind of diet is recommended for them?
That is where I'm going. That is the reason, sorry about this. This introduction to Ayurveda class about body type, we teach for 2 to 3 days. I'm just trying to see how I can fast. I can tell you about a little bit about body type. And as I told you that Ayurveda developed 5,000 years ago, in those days they didn't have any calorie counting machine. Take rice or wheat or something and put it in a burner and burn it and find how much calorie it took to burn that. They didn't have that. You know what they had at that time? Guess?
Scales.
Scale? Their sense organs.
Yeah, I'm going to say their eyes.
Their eyes,
Touch.
ears, touch, that's how it is developed. They were so keen, they didn't have any TV or the Wi-Fi or the gadgets, so that it is all very sharp, that, So those days, they studied each and everything with their senses. The sense of taste is how they developed Ayurvedic nutrition. Ayurvedic nutrition is based on the 6 tastes. All in Ayurveda, it is called as rasa. The 6 tastes are sweet. Before I do that, let me give you a handout. Oh, pass it? Okay, thank you. Can I have a few of them? So sure. Pass it on the other side. I'll take two here and pass it in. Steve?
Thank you.
Do you have extra?
Yeah.
You don't.
Those.
So today I'm planning to do lemon honey water, soaked almonds, Tridoshic herb tea, flaxseed milk, flaxseed smoothie, and Ayurvedic quinoa. So we have to finish within an hour of all of this. So I'll go very fast. Before I start the cooking, I want to let you know about Ayurvedic 6 taste. Okay, so the second handouts that you have talk about 6 tastes according to Ayurveda. Sweet. Okay, sweet is like what you see: sugar, milk, butter, rice, wheat, honey, banana, coconut, raisins, and licorice root. What I want to give you is that sweet doesn't mean that just sugar. Sugar is totally artificial that we have created, but of course it is very sweet, but butter is also sweet. Natural butter, not the salted butter. The natural butter, when you taste it, it is not spicy, hot or anything, it is sweet. When you bite into a licorice root, the taste is sweet, but it is natural sweet. It's not too very sweet. So we are in here, sweet means really like cake and ice cream and all of that. Sweet is when most of the carbohydrate, root vegetables are most of them, not all. And the second one is sour, like yogurt, cheese, lemon, grape, tomato, tamarind, and raw mango. So the Vata body type is they produce acid in their stomach, right? All of us do produce acid in the stomach, right? So, but the Vata produce very little. For them, they need external source of the acid to help them digest. For example, you say, I feel very heavy, I don't feel like eating it, or like, oh, I feel like skipping today or something, because maybe they have eaten a meal more than what they have produced the acid. So they have little acid, they have eaten a big meal, so they are not able to digest that. So for that reason, and then you have seen other people too, is that like, I'm hungry, please give me food. I cannot wait for a minute, because they produce more acid. So they are hungry, they want food to burn that, right? So this pitta person, we never recommend sour thing because they already produce more sour. Whereas Vata, who produce very little, they need external help to burn their, digest their food. So the sour will help them. It is acidic. Does that make sense? Next one is salt or seaweed. And then the third one is pungent. Pungent means spicy hot. Ginger, garlic, of course chilies, cumin, and these are all pepper, black pepper, and pungent. Bitter, bitter greens, that's what we call them, green leafy vegetables, spinach. If you really want to know the taste of bitter, then bite into a small piece of bitter melon. You'll really know what bitter means. Bitters are very good blood purifier. So, and then the last taste is astringent. Astringent is raw bean. The exact taste of the astringent is when you bite into a raw banana or persimmon, raw persimmon, you get that dryness, puckering taste. That is astringent taste. Many of the spices that we use, like turmeric and many of that, it has astringent in them. Okay, so in Ayurveda, when you add all of the 6 tastes, your food is very balanced and it's very helpful in digestion. So now, once we know the taste, 6 tastes, how do they affect on each body type is what is important. So the bottom one will tell you about the effect of 6 days on your body. So for example, this thin, lean, dry vata body type, sweets like rice or the wheat and heavy potatoes and all of that, which is sweet, is very grounding and calming for that vata body type. So that is sweet is recommended. They are very dry. The sour, because they produce less sour, when you put a little bit of lemon juice on your tongue, what happens? There is a saliva. They are dry inside out. For example, if I give a piece of toast for vata body type, they cannot swallow it because very little saliva that they have gets sucked by that dry toast and they cannot swallow. Oh my God, this is a cardboard, right? So for them, they need butter, jam, or ghee, or something on top of it, peanut butter or something, right? So that is vata body type. So for them, they do need salt. You know what salt does? Water absorbing, right? That is the reason we don't recommend people with blood pressure avoid salt, is that it will retain water in your body. Vata is very dry inside out, is what I told you. For them, retaining a little bit of water is ideal. So that is the reason salt. It doesn't mean that you have to eat very salty food, but of all 3 body types, that is, if anybody can have salt, is extra or little, is vata body type. And at the same time, they have to decrease pungent, bitter, and astringent taste. So, and pitta will be grounded, this hot and heavy pitta, by sweet, bitter, and astringent. They are all cooling spices, cooling in nature. Okay, pungent, sour, hot is pitta is already hot. Why do you give them a hot, spicy food, right? You don't want to do that. So, and then they produce more acid than anybody else. So why do you add more sour in their diet? Okay, as is, you have to keep feeding them every 3 hours. Then if you give them more, sour food, they'll be constantly, we have to feed them. So, and salty is, it will help you retain water. So when you look at the quality of the pitta, it is moist, so they don't need that. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Any questions? Mm-hmm. And the last one is slow and steady kapha. So for them, they don't need any sweet because it will make them even more slower, right? So for them, pungent, bitter, and astringent, they are all tissue drying, bitter and astringent are very tissue drying. So that is the reason it is there, because they are always moist, thick, heavy. So pungent will help them digest their food properly. Any question?
So if you are a kapha type, that's for simplicity, you should take food that will increase your kapha or decrease the kapha tendency?
That should be balancing. That is decreasing.
Should be decreasing the
Yeah,
tendency?
decreasing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And,
So
and
next time I'll write balancing.
so, and the tendency, okay.
Go
I'll
ahead.
come back to my question.
Think about it. So if you have any, can we start the demonstration?
Sure.
Yeah, I just had one question. You said for vata, they need grounding. For pitta, they need cooling. What is it kapha means?
Stimulating.
Stimulating.
Yeah. They're slow and steady. They need something to say, get up and go moving. I'm just, okay. So in Ayurveda, once you know the basics of it, let's jump into it. Ayurveda recommends that when you get up in the morning, instead of just going for the tea, coffee, or anything, after your brushing is done, hot water with lemon juice and honey is recommended. So I already made hot water here. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of honey. And cut a lemon and then have that. How difficult it is. Is it difficult?
No.
and I cutting it and squeezing it and right now in front of you. So if you take that, you live in California, which is a orchard, and the lemon is growing all over, and why not do it? Don't buy the bottled lemon juice for early morning one. Early morning one, buy the fresh lemon and squeeze it.
What type of lemon and what type of honey do you recommend?
I usually use a raw honey, unfiltered honey, and then lemon is like, of course, my favorite is Myers lemon, and Myers lemon is better for even pitta body type. It is more sweeter, not Vata and Kapha can do lemon or lime. So pitta, avoid the lime, just do the lemon. Does that make sense?
Yep.
But
The,
if you
honey is not
if you
specific.
don't have a Myers lemon, it doesn't mean that you are not going to do it. Any lemon is fine.
So I'm a pita and I love lemon and lime and I hate Meyer lemon.
You hate
Yeah.
lemon?
No, Meyer lemon.
Meyer lemon.
It's gross.
Not too sweet?
Yeah.
And then that doesn't bother you, right?
I don't know.
So the reason is that pitta, see, there is, I'm just touching the Ayurvedic nutrition from the, just iceberg, small peck of it. There is something called as post-digestion and after that. So post-digestive effect of lemon is the one citrus fruit that is cooling.
Okay.
The one citrus fruit that is recommended for pitta is that lime or lemon. But that is a next level for the cooking. So, but that, to answer your question, yes. Because in Ayurveda, when there is a headache going on, which is a pitta predominant people prone towards, or we recommend lemon juice. Lemon is sour and he is having already headache and all that. How does that balance? The post-digestive effect of lemon is cooling. It is good for reducing pitta. So that is the next level. So, but yeah.
Yeah, I naturally did that growing up and then my teeth started getting,
Oh, that is because of the acid
yeah.
corrosion.
And so
Yeah.
my dentist said stop eating lemons.
Yeah. That is, you have to eat more calcium on the other side, but that will remove the enamel if you
Yeah.
do it every day. But not with a little bit of lemon juice and honey. We've been doing it, 28 years.
So would you recommend eating lemon or basically using the juice?
Using that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did,
When you're drinking the lemon juice, when you bite into the lemon, you touch your teeth, right? That will, the chances of you, the enamel being, eroded because of that is more chances than when you drink the lemon water.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I do it now.
Yeah. Good. So we are going to taste a little bit later. So how difficult it is. So if you can get up in the morning and then do lemon honey water, it will be ideal. The reason it is done is to improve the metabolism. As we grow older, our digestion is fine, right? Our metabolism goes down because when you're young, you don't have to do exercise, you look pretty and all of that. As you grow older, your metabolism slows down, whether you take a little bit of Tylenol or anything that you take, any chemicals in your diet that has to go through your liver. So that liver gets compromised. So for that reason, lemon honey water in the morning is an ideal cleanse for it. And it's very simple and very easy. Why not do it? Okay? So we are going to taste it a little later.
Can I ask a question? What if you don't like the taste of honey? Can you just have lemon water?
Yes. Yes. And the honey is not there for taste, just to let you know. So the honey in Ayurveda is heating, and then honey in Ayurveda, when you study going more into Ayurveda, there are two things that we use as a carrier for the medicine. One is honey, one is ghee. Okay. when you mix your herbs or things with ghee or honey, the absorption is maximum. So you are absorbing, and the quality of honey is heating and the ghee is cooling. When you have cold and you have upper respiratory problem with the cold, you don't mix it with ghee because your digestion and all of that is slow. You want something to help you digest, then you use honey. When you are having the heat problem in your body, to cool the body down, you mix your herbs with the ghee, or if you have a bowl of rice, you add a few drops of ghee. Please don't indulge in oh, ghee tastes good, it is butter, let me have more. No, a little bit of ghee on any of your food, hot food, the absorption of nutrition from it is maximum. It is like a catalyst. Okay? So that is the reason honey is used in lemon water.
Is there such thing as vegan ghee?
No, I'm sorry. Ghee is,
Milk, yeah.
no, it's a dairy product. So next thing is that for a vegan, Ayurveda recommends soaking almonds before going to bed and then having it in the morning. The soaking, like when you soak almonds, what happens is that you can peel it easily. And then second thing is that when you the tannin in the skin of the almonds is hard to digest. People with the digestive problem or people who are Pitta people can digest anything. They don't have to. But the other people, if you can soak almonds in water and in the morning, just squeeze it and you're yeah. So you can peel it with one squeeze and you can taste it later on. You can all of you.
Can you do another one?
Ready?
Okay, just like.
Wants to get it.
So as simple as that. And that is when you soak it, because all of them germinate and they have life in them, and it is ready to digest, pre-digest, and help you absorb because these almonds and all, we use it as an antioxidant, right? So a good source of vitamin E and and selenium and all. So they are good antioxidants. So that is readily available when you soak it. Okay. So I would like you to try. I'm going to make the last recipe is the quinoa. The last recipe is quinoa. Those Vata people, almond is very good for you. Help yourself at that time. Any questions on that?
How many almonds can you have?
Depending on your body type. Okay, so Vata people, they do need dry, they need external oils more. So for them, a handful of almonds is very good. Whereas Kapha, they store everything. So for them, 10 almonds a day is maximum. And it also, Pitta people who are prone towards acne or heat coming out of their body or they sweat a lot, for them is also 10 almonds, because when you eat too many almonds, nuts and seeds, they do get acne and other things, heat, So that nuts and seeds are high source of heat. So Vata, they are cold, their extremities are hand and feet always are cold. For them, nuts and seeds are very good.
One question. Do we need to discard the water or can we consume the water also?
You can consume the water. If you buy the organic almonds, then yeah, sure, why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
So it is not
But-
going into the water, like whatever nutrients are
No.
important
No,
elements.
no. Any questions on that? Next one I'm going to do is Tridoshic tea or herb tea. If you can open your page number 3, I think. Yeah. So early morning, once you do the lemon honey water, you go exercise or stretch depending on your body type, you do yoga or any of that. After that, you take 10 almonds, or you can take it at 10 o'clock, it's totally up to you. So that is a complete, I am planning a complete meal for a vegan, or if you are a vegetarian, so you don't have to eat meat for every meal, or you don't have to eat meat at all. So we are talking about the lemon honey water is done, almonds are taken care of. Next one is in the morning to get you up, so you need some hot drink, right? We are used to the coffee, the Starbucks, or we also, the Indians many a times we use tea, chai, okay? Both are caffeinated drinks. So what Ayurveda recommends, even for kids, is that herb tea. That is what I'm going to make next, okay? And it's very simple, very easy. Today I'm going to be using coriander seeds. I'll pass and then I if you can pass, look at the herbs, and then the coriander seeds are the base for any of your herb tea. The reason is that coriander is very cooling, and it is, whether it is garam masala, any of the spices that we use, coriander is very cooling for the body. It is good for vata, pitta and kapha. All three body types should have that. Okay. And the next one is fennel seeds. And then you must have seen fennel seeds in Indian restaurants after meal. It is color coated, sugar coated, but don't go with that, because that is bad. But original Ayurveda is that when after each meal, if you chew fennel seeds, are you doing that, Michelle?
Not as often as I should, but I do.
It's the same family as licorice. So fennel seeds, when you chew after each meal, you get a lot of fiber. When you're chewing fennel seed, you get a lot of saliva also. Saliva is the water body type. They are dry, as I told you. So for them, when you chew fennel seed, they get a lot of saliva, and it is very good for digestion. When you have a digestion problem, indigestion or anything, you feel heavy, please go to your kitchen counter and take few fennel seeds and chew it and drink a cup of hot water, and it's taken care of. Okay? So the fennel is the green in color, and then the next one is cumin, and the fennel is cooling in nature. Okay, so fennel and coriander, both of them are cooling in nature. It is good for all the three body types. The next one is ginger. I am using the grated ginger here so that it is infused well in the tea. So ginger is very heating. So if you have a chili and ginger, the chili is hot to taste for your tongue, but ginger is more healing than chili. If a pitta person eats chili every single day and ginger every single day, the person who eats ginger every day, his pitta will go up, because the heat quality of the ginger is more than chili. So if you are a pitta body type, do not eat too much ginger during summer, because that is pitta time. Okay? So the next one is everybody's favorite, turmeric. It's in herb right now. Last year the in thing was coconut oil, right now it is turmeric. So turmeric is a root, and it's known for its anti-inflammatory effect. So now people are taking as a tablet. The active ingredient of the turmeric is curcumin. So people do take tablet to reduce their inflammation for arthritis and many things. And they're also developing that using turmeric for anti-cancer also. And turmeric is also antihistamine. So right now the allergy season is very just around the corner for many people, the spring. So what I would recommend is that start taking turmeric. Use it in your cooking, add it in your tea. If you drink a cup of hot milk at night, just add a little bit of turmeric. So keep adding turmeric. It is a natural antihistamine. So it is a wonderful spice, and it is in our kitchen, and there is no side effect taking turmeric. Use it as a spice though. So next one is cumin. Cumin is a little warming. It is ideal, it's a carbonated herb. It helps you in digestion of food. So it is good for all the three body type. Fenugreek. Fenugreek, how many of you heard about fenugreek or seen fenugreek? It is a bitter spice. It is ideal for insulin metabolism. People with diabetes do take it as a tablet. It's a small seed.
Do you want me to pass it out?
Yeah, thank you. And the next one is cardamom. Cardamom, always buy it as a pod.
I see.
Okay? Buy it as a pot because cardamom is heating again, it is not cooling. Cardamom is a very good for mind calming, relaxing, so it is ideal for a vata spice. And what we recommend is that vata person who is hyperactive, cannot fall asleep at night, have some kind of warm fluid. If you want soy milk, or if you want almond milk, or chia seed milk that we are going to prepare right now.
Did you list these according, like the first ones are kind of hot, cooling, and then list them like...
Correct. Yes. More than that, what I've done is that to make it balancing, the amount of the ingredient will tell you whether they are cooling or not.
Okay.
See, for example, coriander is 2 tablespoons and whether cumin is only 1 teaspoon. Okay. So, and the last one I'm going to use is the licorice. Licorice root is, you have seen licorice, right? Okay, licorice root is ideal for people with any upper respiratory problem. Licorice is the same family as the fennel seed, and it is sweet in taste. And the licorice is also very good for when you have stomach problem. So you have ulcerative colitis or acidity. For them, having, what it is that when a person who has a mucosa problem, the stomach has a mucosa lining, right? When that gets corroded or eroded, then the acid will touch the stomach wall. To heal that and all of that, licorice root is very ideal. But there is one side effect with the licorice root. People who have the blood pressure problem, long-term use of licorice can increase the blood pressure. So for them, they have to use something called as DGL, deglycyrrhiza-gabra. The active ingredient that does that is removed. Okay. So we are going to make the tea right now. Okay. I'm looking at how many of us. You can just use mortar and pestle to crush it. What I do is that I have 10 days worth of spices. I'll just grind it in a spice grinder. This is a coffee grinder. I use it as a just my spice grinder. I don't use it for coffee at all. So, and then add fennel seeds, and then cumin. Cumin very little. And the amount I have given you, I'm going to throw the whole cardamom pod like that. And then except ginger, even turmeric I don't have to because it's already ground form. And then I'm going to throw a few of the fenugreek.
Gayathri?
Yes.
I had a question. Most of the Indian cooking recommend you to roast the spices. Does Ayurveda recommend that?
Depending on when you are using it.
Oh.
Yeah, so the reason is that if you are going to roasting is that you have to be very careful with the roasting. You can roast it to get the aroma out and maximum benefit out of it. But even if you use the raw and steep it in hot water for a long time, that will do it. So any herb, if you are going to roast it and keep it in your shelf, that is not recommended.
Okay.
Yeah, any heat treatment is not recommended. You don't grind it finely because it will be very difficult to filter it.
Strain.
Yeah.
So when you use the mortar and pestle,
Yeah.
because I actually made this tea already, it's really hard to, you just kind of crush them a little
A
bit?
little bit
Okay.
crushing, that's all.
Because I was like, oh,
Yeah.
this is really
So
hard.
I have a filter here,
Okay.
so I'm gonna throw that here. And bear with me here. Ileana, can you help me with all of these spices? You can take it out. Maybe take it in, leave it in here. And I have licorice root here. Okay, you can grind licorice root with that, but I want to give you one more trick is that put it in a mortar and crush it a little bit. And then once you crush it, then you are going to use that crushed one. Okay. And then don't use licorice throughout. Use licorice during the fall and winter season or when there is flu around because that is very good for fighting or keeping your lungs very healthy. I added everything except turmeric, right? Yeah.
And do you get
And
licorice
ginger.
roots in Indian store?
Huh?
Can you buy them here in the store?
Yes, you can buy it here. You can buy it at Whole Food. You can also buy it at Indian store.
By what?
Licorice root.
Licorice root. Licorice root is available in Whole Food too. And then how difficult it is to do this much. Yeah. I have grated ginger here so that ginger will be completely absorbed, once you add water and you have a boiling water. I'm going to add that. Okay, so what I want you guys to see is that the herbs are soaking in that. Let it steep for, yeah?
Oh, it smells good.
I know. So,
Oh, yeah.
so now let it steep till for all the prepared things are here.
So, 1 second, Gayathri.
Go ahead.
This is Tridoshic means it is good for all the three.
Dosha.
Anybody can use.
Anybody can do it. Instead of doing only for Vata, Pitta, Kapha, what I recommend is that summer is hot outside and you are Pitta, hot inside, you have to do a cooling diet. For during summer, you go with the season also. And then as you come closer to fall is very dry outside, skin is dry, you can see that, right? You need more moisturizer during fall season. So that is a Vata time. So you add more Vata spices, Vata, thing during the fall. And even though you are a Pitta person, you can take spices, hot spices during winter, which is a Kapha time. Because it's cooling outside, to use the spices that can warm you up. Like instead of taking brandy during winter, you can take ginger. Why not? Right? Makes sense. So the next recipe that I'm going to do.
I have one quick question about the tea. So I made this tea at home and I made a pot of it in the afternoon.
Yes.
And I liked it so much that I just kept filling my cup, and I drank a lot of it into the evening.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I like, it was stimulating. I was like trying to, like I had a hard time sleeping. Is that
What was in that tea?
exactly this except for the licorice root? It's the exact recipe.
It's
Would that be, was that just, maybe it was something else, but I wondered if this tea could at all be stimulating, because it doesn't have any caffeinated type things in it, right?
Nothing.
Okay,
It should
maybe it
not
was
do
just
that.
something else, but
or anything, we should have it in
not have
balance.
too much.
Yeah. So for example, that
Okay.
we have problem, like right now you see coconut is not a in thing, that people overdid coconut, or once upon a time soy was in thing, and they would do breakfast, lunch and dinner, everything is soy tempeh, tofu,
Yeah, so not
soy
too
milk,
much.
edamame and all of that. So what we recommend this is that morning 1 cup and in the evening 1 more cup.
Okay.
Maximum 3 cups a day, not more than.
Okay.
So what I recommend, I'm not going to
So-
do it right now.
Is this too big for my 1 cup?
What's in
That
there,
is
Steve?
69.
Tea?
Big bowl.
Oh, the regular tea.
Yeah.
So what I do for my college going boy is that grind that, like, crush it a little bit, and then they don't have the patience to make it, right? Or when we don't have the patience or we are working,
That's
so just buy this and then put a little bit of half a teaspoon of the
Oh,
the
make it like a
tea.
tea bags.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I also add a little bit of jaggery, because the spicy for a 19-year-old is too much, so add a little bit of quarter teaspoon of jaggery, and then seal it, and then put it in a Ziploc bag,
Yeah.
and then he can take 1 bag out of it, and then put it in hot water in his hot thermos, and then have this. So
Or do
you
it on
can do it
Sunday,
for
so you're
yours.
good for do it for the week. And
Exactly.
you're good.
Or if you can make this Sunday night,
Yep.
and then take it to work, leave it there, instead of taking any of the herb tea that
Yeah.
you have it there,
Yeah.
which is made I don't know how long,
Yeah.
you can make fresh one and use it, and it is not messy either.
Yeah. And doesn't have a string attached to it.
You can buy one with the string.
I don't know.
Yeah. So any questions on that? Can you go to the next one? The next one is nut milk. Have you tried this before? Joyce, have you?
No,
No?
I haven't
Can you try it
tried
now?
flax milk.
Yeah.
Haven't tried that.
So the next recipe is flax milk. And the reason I chose is that how simple it is and how beneficial it is. So you know that flaxseed is a good source of omega-3. It's not the EPA, but it is ALA, alpha-linoleic acid. So, but it is a precursor. So it is omega-3 is very good, and we have in the market flax milk available. You can make soy milk, or you can also make almond milk. But today I'm going to do flax. Okay. So what I have done is that wash and soak flaxseed in 2 cups of water for 3 hours. I have done that.
Can that be overnight?
This is what I've done
Okay.
overnight. You need 3 hours. So I want you to plan it just for 3 hours, or if you can overnight, that's also fine. So, but do you see how slimy it is?
Slimy.
Yeah,
So it's minimum 3 hours.
minimum 3 hours. Yeah?
Slimy.
It swell up.
Yeah.
What slimy means that mucilaginous. What it is that it is have the ability to absorb the moisture, Or these ones, when you take it, it will retain extra water in your body. So it's ideal for a Vata body type. And it's also high fiber because of that. That is, and that's it. It's already washed, and see. Yummy.
Oh, look at that. My boys would just eat that up.
Exactly. Oh my God. So, okay. And extra water, right? So how many cups? 4 cups?
Yes.
So 6 cups.
Out of that, I use 2 cups for
2
soup.
cups in, okay, so.
Ah.
Okay,
So it's 8 cups.
okay.
So the blender has to be strong.
Correct.
Yeah.
The reason is that to get exact, maximum extract, you need a good blender. Even NutriBullet will do. I have the NutriBullet down there. So NutriBullet will do. So if somebody can read the recipe, then I don't have to keep it here. So blend it till it is very fine. Now what you see is that it is very thick. So that, it can absorb even more, we can add more water because we expected 3 more people today. I made extra, so a little more, so I'm going to add more so that all of us can have enough. I don't want it to splash anywhere. That's about it, done. How difficult it is. What I've done is that I have a nut milk strainer. You can use the regular strainer, no problem, but this makes it easy. And a new gadget, ladies, we love to buy new things. So it's very easy. So just buy this, put it in a, wash it.
It will never stay clean like when you bought it.
This is my second time. I didn't want any surprises today, so I tried it. No, it's so yummy, right? It looks.
It looks bad. It's getting there.
In that case, you can add more. See, this is only 1.5 cup of flaxseed.
Wow.
And see how much I can add more water.
So is flax cooling?
Flax is not very cooling. None of the flax is not cooling.
Not cooling.
Seeds and herbs. It is not very heating like cashew. Cashew, pistachio, and walnut, they are very heating, including peanuts. But next is, one more that is very heating is sesame seed. And after that is the other seeds. And this is not very heating, but it is heating. It is not cooling at all.
Okay, so by rule all nuts are heating.
By rule, all nuts are heating. You can tie it around. And then squeeze. And then juice is coming out. You guys want to come see here or?
Do you have to squeeze it?
Yeah?
Do you have to squeeze it or will it just come out out by
It'll come out. It'll come out.
You're just
Probably
squeezing.
easier in a bigger bowl.
Are you squeezing because we're in a hurry? You want
Correct. You can just let it stay
I
there.
enjoy that.
Say that again.
I wouldn't enjoy squeezing that bad.
Yeah, kind of. Right?
That's
Too
my
slimy.
dad told me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
I don't want to drink it now.
Don't worry, I'll make it so yummy.
You don't want to drink it because your hands are all over it now.
Yeah.
You obviously don't have kids. Huh?
No.
Yeah, second one, you're not really as.
I think second kid.
Don't worry, it is so. You know, before doing it here, I tried it at home earlier, and it tastes very good. So you'll like it for sure. So,
Yeah, it's kind of weird looking.
oh, because of the quality, because
Yeah.
it is a slimy when you soak it.
Yeah.
But there is one thing that I missed blending it. No, that's for the next one.
And when I make almond milk, I rinse the almonds that the water that it's soaked in
Yeah,
before I blend it. But in this case, you just use.
I washed this flaxseed 3-4 times.
Oh, okay.
So
But you
before
use the actual
soaking it.
water. You don't use fresh water to blend.
What I did is that I washed flaxseed with 3-4 times because and then once it
You
is
threw away that
clean,
water. Yeah.
threw away the
Got-
water,
okay.
and then I
Got it.
soaked it in filter water,
Mhm.
and then it'll keep, because look at the amount of fiber. So
Mhm.
I'm going to do smoothie with this much and then squeeze this later.
So if you just let it do natural draining, how long does it take to
Half an
basically?
hour, 45 minutes.
45 minutes? Okay.
Yeah.
I think
And then I
do
can
it.
add more. I can add more liquid to it,
Okay.
water to it.
Yeah.
Let me just wash my hands again.
Does it look slimy?
No, it's like Flax
Does it
milk.
look like milk?
Yeah.
Can you bring the bowl for the camera?
Who are not ready to?
That's cool.
Who are not ready to have the smoothie now?
It's not slimy at all. You got it? Yeah.
No, you don't have any option but to try that. Okay, so the nut milk is made. This is very strong and this is very thick. So last time I made it with the extra water, it would come out very easily. This time what I did is that because I had 15 students today, I wanted all of you to have extra, so I soaked a little too much, and I had instead of 1 cup, I soaked 2 cups. That is what it is, and then. The next recipe, let's go to the next one. Once you make the flaxseed milk, you can store it in an airtight container in your refrigerator for 3 to 4 days. Okay? Weekend you can do it. Weekdays you can just use that to make your smoothie. It's easy. You can blend it. You can now, let's use the next blender. Any questions on that? Flaxseed smoothie. So for that, what I'm doing is that I'm using banana and figs frozen, or if you have the fresh figs, you can use it. What I do is that we live in an orchard. California is very fertile, so we use all figs and all vegetable, all the fruits, right? So what I want you to do, if you have it in your yard or garden, wash it with a little bit of turmeric at the, all the fruits, and then freeze it fresh, and then use it during the non-season. So that's what I'm doing because it is organic.
So you mean sprinkle turmeric on it?
Mhm.
while you're washing it.
Correct.
And do you leave the turmeric on it or you rinse it off?
I rinse it off.
Okay.
Not rinse it off. The last wash that I do is with a little bit of turmeric.
Mm-hmm.
In in olden days growing up, when you fall, when you have a cut, we didn't have any band-aids. Band-aid was turmeric. Okay, so it won't get your skin infected. Don't you remember? Abhi, have you used it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So all of us, like
Like a Neosporin, what they use.
exactly. And it's that's how turmeric is used. That's how turmeric is powerful.
You
So
even wash your face with turmeric, right?
Really?
that is for
You know, beauty thing. And,
that is a natural hair remover.
yeah.
Oh, really?
Facial skin, facial hair. Yeah.
Will it help?
Yes. You have in South India there is a custom that after shower they make a turmeric paste and apply it on the only ladies, not men.
Yeah.
So you see yellow because it is a natural hair remover. You have a smooth skin. Yeah. So don't apply it on your hair. So and then chopped dates and chia seeds and water and cardamom is what I'm using to make the smoothie. So what I do is that I am showing you one more slimy thing. Sorry about that. Is chia seed. How many of you are familiar with chia seed? Okay. So chia seed, when I add water to it, this is how it becomes.
Yeah.
Okay, it's once again, it's a good source of protein, not a high, it's good source of omega-3, high source of fiber. This is chia seed before adding water.
Yeah.
Oh, so this much, if you add water, it becomes like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it expands. Really.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I'm going to add the milk that I just now made. And then I'm going to add one more slimy thing. That's chia seed. Please bear with me, it's
Can
tasty.
you add just the chia seed without being soaked?
Say that again? Yeah, you can.
Okay.
For the chia seed is from Mayan civilization. It's grown in South America. The same chia seed is cooling, and the similar type of seeds in India is called as holy basil seeds, sabja seeds, tulsi seeds. They also have the same quality, and this is used in summer also in India. And this is in Mayan, chia seeds used for sports people when they're hiking or when they're playing. When you eat that, it will retain extra water in your body.
So the purpose of soaking it is for what?
Help you digest it
Digestion,
better and retain extra water.
To make it room too.
Huh?
So we could soak it, but we don't have to soak it. I mean, is it better to soak it?
Better to soak it. And about 10 grams of it, it will give you 4 grams of protein and a good source of omega-3, high source of fiber. So what more? It's like a superfood. And what other things are we going to add?
Bananas.
Cardamom.
Cardamom.
Tangerine.
Banana is optional. If you want, you can do it. If you add more dates, you don't need to add banana. Don't worry, I have about 6 dates cut here, chopped. I'm going to use orange because of the tangerine. They are sweet, and a little bit of sour because of the sour taste. And it is frozen is because it's from my yard, it's organic, and I use organic for, so whatever grown in your yard, it's good for your body type, then use it. And then cardamom, just before adding it to your smoothie, you just peel it, and then you can remove the seed, and then add it directly. Have you peeled the cardamom before? Cardamom has many volatile oil in them. So that is the reason when you buy cardamom powder, you can smell the whole kitchen cardamom because it is constantly being evaporated and evaporated. So never buy cardamom, even the husk removed. Don't buy it because it's no use. So that is the reason the protective husk is there. Any questions so far?
I've heard that it's not necessarily good to mix banana and dates together. Is that true because it creates sludge or it's more difficult to digest?
In Ayurveda, the main thing that are not supposed to be combined, fruits is in Ayurveda recommends separate. Okay, that is, but if you have an indigestion problem, so I always recommend is that keep all the type of food separate. Your main protein, your carbohydrate, or your fruits, without any doubt, separate.
Okay.
But dates and banana, I haven't heard about it. Both of them are carbohydrate sweets, but banana with any kind of dairy is not recommended in Ayurveda. It is like a poison. Yes, Ayurveda and there never recommends any.
Yeah, I knew about the dairy and fruit in general.
Yeah, and then also depending on who is eating it.
Yeah.
If you are a Pitta body type, you can eat that and digest it. But if you are a Vata body type who produce less acid, for them, single, when you are eating nuts, just eat nuts. That's what is recommended. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then I have my frozen dates, figs from my gardens. Sorry, any questions? You guys don't mind trying this smoothie, right? Ileana, can you help me remove all of this so that I can prepare the last one? Yes,
This too?
yes, including all of this. No, I don't need that. So let's try the smoothie for our meal today, okay? All of us.
Good, because I'm a Peter and I'm hungry.
Did I tell you? We need to get it.
We can take it.
Exactly.
My stomach's growling over here for the past 30 minutes.
Ileana, I need
Make
your
some food.
help.
I'm giving it to you.
Maybe the last one. The last one is that I want you to read the ingredients. I'll leave it here. Is breakfast. So we have all tried all these recipes before. Oh, I didn't add the banana, so.
Uh-oh.
No, I told you, banana is optional. Ready? The last one is Ayurvedic Quinoa. So what I'm doing is that today I have already cooked quinoa. So quinoa is very dry and it is very good for pitta and kapha people. Vata people and dry don't go together. When you cook quinoa, it's very dry. If you cook the same like cup of rice, when you eat rice, it is very moist and sweet. Whereas quinoa, it is sweet, but it is very dry. So what I've done is that when I have few Vata people in the class, then I have to add a little bit of coconut oil when cooking it, so it will absorb the oil and it becomes a little more moist. Okay, so I have cooked the quinoa. For 1 cup of quinoa, 2 cups of water, as simple as that. Once cooked quinoa is half done, almost ready to turn it off, what I do is that for these 2 cups, I have added 1 tablespoon of coconut oil and then closed it. So, I want you to call if you can pass it for me. So I have cooked the quinoa, that is 2 cups of quinoa, that's how much I'm getting it.
It's okay, I got it.
Big 2 cups of quinoa. A little more than I would say 20 ounce. Okay. And then I'm using coconut oil is because coconut oil is good for all the 3 body types. Mainly it is good for a Vata body type and also it is good for a Pitta body type. Kapha should stay very, any oils is not good for Kapha. Okay. Coconut oil is saturated fat. It is solid at room temperature. You have seen used coconut oil, right? It's people know that. So the reason that we use coconut oil is that use it as in small quantity, it is still very good because it is saturated fat. Heat tolerant of coconut oil is much better than any other oil. So that is the reason I use coconut oil for cooking, and it is called as medium chain fatty acid. Means that the fatty acid link is a smaller link, whereas olive oil and other oils, polyunsaturated oils or monounsaturated oils, they are very long chain. This is easy to digest. If you go and look at any of the baby products, you see coconut oil, it's made out of coconut oil, easy to digest. When you have a digestion issue, always use coconut oil. Any question on that? I'm going to add 2 teaspoons. It is very hot. Michelle,
Yes.
read the recipe for me.
Well, you washed all your vegetables, you've done all this, you're ready to add 1 tablespoon of coconut oil to your quinoa.
Yeah, I did
Yeah,
already.
okay.
Huh?
Heat 2 tablespoons of oil in a pan, and then add chili, the chopped onion, turmeric, fresh ginger, and then saute.
I didn't know that Steve is coming here. I have to be very careful with the chili, right, Steve?
I don't mind.
Huh?
I don't mind.
You don't
He
mind?
doesn't mind when you do it.
See? Oh, that's with all men, somebody else do it, they're fine, right? Okay, so what do I add next?
3 tablespoons, 2
You want to add your chili,
Chopped
your
ginger.
chopped onion,
Okay,
turmeric, and fresh ginger.
so I'm going to use 2 chilies. Okay, so I use the Thai pepper. You can use Thai or jalapeno. Any is fine.
just you put the whole thing in?
I slit it in the middle because if I use the finely chopped, it'll come in your teaspoon or bite into it. I don't want you to bite. Yeah, it's split in half, and then add onion, right? So because onion is need to be chopped just before the class because it smells. So I have put it in a tight container. It's a big one onion, and we have all of you here, right?
And then turmeric and fresh ginger.
So for people who don't like onion, though, you don't have to put the onion up.
You don't have to put onion.
I like onion, but.
Okay, onion is very heating, so it's not very heating, but it is not cooling either. So pitta people should not eat whole lot of onion. If you are talking about the body type, the onion should be good for a vata person, cooked, and it's ideal for a kapha person. Kapha person can have raw onion, they can eat it, enjoy it, but pitta person and vata person, they have to cook it, make it mellow. And then the next ingredient, when it is onion is being sauteed.
Turmeric and ginger.
So for this one, what I've done is that, remember earlier I showed you I have grated the ginger for my tea, right? Because I want, when you grate it, it's very fine and it will directly steep into the water. Whereas quinoa and all, anyway you are eating it. In tea, you are removing it and you are not using any of the ginger. You don't drink the ginger, right? Here you are biting the ginger. So for that, I'm putting it, chopping it finely. So small piece of ginger, when you bite, it tastes very good.
And did you already add your turmeric?
I'm going to add turmeric.
Oh.
So when you do it in the beginning, where I use a teaspoon and all the measuring spoon, for me, I've been cooking for so long, I just go with the eye measurement.
You're using that 5,000-year-old method.
Eyes.
See? Good. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. So you can use other spices, you know, you can make one day with ginger and turmeric, next day you can make it with garlic depending on your body type. Again, if you are a pitta person, use little garlic or use the garlic during winter and fall season.
I have a recommendation for you sitting. Stand up so you can see.
Okay, next what do I add?
The vegetables.
Dill, mint, cilantro. Oh no, that's after the
Yeah. I have zucchini today and then carrots.
So you can use any vegetables then?
I will go with seasonal.
Oh, yeah.
And then depending on your body type, go with the vegetables. And then because I'm having few vata people here and pitta people, so I also have dill. Today I chose dill. You can use either dill, cilantro or mint. Cilantro and mint are very cooling, so it is, you know, ideal for a pitta person. Dill is ideal for a person with digestion. It's ideal for digestion. It's good for a vata person. What is the next, Nisha?
Then once you add those, add the salt, lemon juice, and mix well.
So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to add dill. If it is mint and if it is cilantro you are going to use, you use at the end. If you are using the dill, you can use a little early. Can you smell the mint dill right now? So you can cook dill few more minutes extra than cilantro. Cilantro is a garnish at the end, but yes, go ahead.
You freshly chop that dill?
Yes. I just, before the class, otherwise I'll be chopping here in front of you.
What's the difference between dill powder in the spice section and fresh dill?
Dill powder,
The dill spices. Yeah.
The dry?
the dill
Right.
seed or the dill powder, the green one, right? It is to make your life easy.
Yeah.
They have fresh dill, dehydrated it, dried it, chopped it, powdered it.
Is it still good for you?
Not as good as this,
Right.
you know what I mean? So of course the flavor will be there. So I would always go with the fresh one.
You forgot the salt in the lemon juice.
Say that again.
You
That's
forgot the
nice.
salt in the lemon juice.
Yes, that I'm gonna add once I have the quinoa. So depending on how much quinoa I'm adding, I add the salt. Now I can add salt.
Guys, so it's better to use that salt or the Himalayan salt?
What?
The Himalayan salt or that
The
salt?
pink.
The Himalayan salt, I use it for not direct cooking. Once you cook, you add the Himalayan salt. Himalayan salt is the rock salt. It is not from sea. So it has some sulfur in it. The sulfur has a strong odor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for that reason, I'm
just
using
add it
the sea
afterward?
salt. Yeah, sea salt for
Sea salt
cooking.
to cook and
And
then
then
Himalayan
once
to
the
add like
extra-
flavor or
Yeah,
whatever you do.
yeah.
Okay.
Extra on top of it, you add. Any question? I still have to use the lemon juice, right?
Notice everybody is like way.
Yeah, they get overpowered by the aroma now, it's like, okay.
Yeah. Now I'm getting hungry.
Pavlovian dogs are ready.
Yeah. We're like,
And it is not difficult. It is very easy, very quick. And quinoa, when you are, because I cooked quinoa earlier, what I do when in the kitchen is that when my quinoa is being cooked, I chop other vegetables and keep it ready, and then I saute it, and once the quinoa is cooked on the side, I immediately put it. So it is not extra time. When I'm doing the vegetable sauteing, quinoa is still being cooked. Once it is ready, I just add it.
So would you ever make like a bigger portion so you don't have to make it fresh every day, or is that not good? Better to make it fresh every day?
Of course, it is better to make fresh, and that is what Ayurveda recommend. But Ayurveda developed 5,000 years ago, and my food is the main,
Work every day?
Yeah,
So
so now
leftovers
we
are
have,
Yeah.
too many other things that we are on our plate. So if I tell you to cook fresh every single day, you will say, oh, forget that I made it. That won't work for me. So, but what I do is that I cook quinoa ahead of time, extra, or rice, or whatever. And then when I'm making the vegetable, fresh every day, and add that. And it won't take a whole lot of time for you to make a fresh vegetable, right? Grain cooking, nut cook, and all of that, it takes time. So what I would recommend is that just cook your lentils, cook your beans, cook your rice or quinoa ahead of time. Mixing it with vegetable, make it fresh every day. So that way you have variety. So it is, voila, it's all ready. Any questions?
I have a question.
Go ahead, Uncle.
I don't eat onions and garlics and things like that because they don't go well with my body and I'm a fetus.
Yeah.
So like chilies, things like that, they really like super heat me up and I get sick on those.
Chili will not heat up. Chili is used in South India more than the North India. South India is very hotter compared to North India. The chili, what it does is that it is hot for the tongue and it will help you sweat. When you sweat, the body cools down. But it is not increase the body core temperature. It is just for the tongue. That's what I was trying to tell you earlier, is that if you have ginger, if you are a pitta person, avoid ginger
Yeah.
than a chili because
Ginger is super heating, like
Got
it actually burns my tongue.
ginger, chili, the most very heating spice is cloves. Cloves, black pepper, cinnamon, then ginger, garlic, and then comes chili. Okay.
I love all those things.
I love all those things.
So this is ready. So you can have it for morning breakfast. You have your vegetables, you have your protein, you have your spices, and it will, complete. And you have your, you can add extra almonds in here. It will be complete. So you guys are all ready for food? Before I serve you, I have to taste this recipe, right? No. So if you want to take a break with your, if you want to take a break with a restroom or something, go ahead. Meanwhile, we'll set up the food.
I'm gonna have to get up at 6 a.m. now.
To make all the.
My morning ritual,
Yeah.
and then my breakfast ritual.
You gotta exercise in that one.
I can add a little bit of salt. Is there any person who wants less salt? It's not that, it should not taste salty. Because I'm preparing a meal for this many people, the amount each one of you are getting is very little.
It looks delicious.
It smells delicious.
Yeah, it smells delicious. We build our appetite.
We're using all our senses too.
Okay.
Looks more like upma.
It is upma. That is a upma recipe is what I started from. Maybe I'll leave it here.
Yeah, sure.
So I'll start with the lemon honey water, all of you, and then take the tea. And Ileana, how many of us? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let me pour 10 smoothie.
I can eat everything except the quinoa.
Try a little bit.
I'm on like a Jane diet. I don't eat any onions.
Oh, you should have told me. I would have skipped the onion.
That's okay.
Can you try it at least?
No, I'm on a strict diet of no garlic and onion.
Well, because they offend you too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so alright. Oh, that's really thick.
That is thick. You can just add extra water.
Here, do you want me to do it for you?
You need to serve a cup for Vivek.
Yeah, I have a cup for it.
Of course.
He shows up when it's all ready.
Yeah.
That's what I usually do.
What timing? What timing?
That's what I usually do.
He's the Indiana Jones.
Please help yourself.
Which one
On
is it?
time. Just
Yeah, I just need a cup for the water.
What's the?
And I have here
It's
for
three-
the tea.
it's 3 grapes. It's a lapis in the back, and then there's a runulated quartz on top.
Is it like, because this keeps saying.
Stand there, I'll take it to music.
The lapis is for your higher
Yeah.
consciousness,
Yeah.
your third eye.
You all stand there, I'll take a picture.
And then the runulated
1 second.
quartz, quartz runulated, just super sharp.
Based on
Abi.
all the churches?
Yeah.
Abi, you can also
Shut up.
stand there.
And then the runulated is like super power battery charge.
Oh, everybody has to get in here now, Steve.
Next week in San Francisco.
Oh, great.
And the following week.
Come on, and so you can come on this side and take
the back.
Here, you guys get over here.
Can I get in the back?
Get on this
I'm
side.
tall.
Yeah, that's
All
fine.
Kafka's over there.
Okay.
So everybody move a little bit this way. Ileana,
Oh,
move
this
this way.
way?
Yeah. There we go.
Quickly, it's getting cold.
There we go.
Please help yourself now.
I'm curious, Liz, your body
Can I
composition.
request
Now you
take
get
a
to
picture?
choose. You get to tell me
Can
that.
I request you to take a picture
Based
of
on
this one
my
later?
instincts,
Yeah.
your,
So we'll take one more picture, okay? No.
Kafka Pita.
Oh, okay.
You take the video for it.
Is it good job? Is it? Are you Kapha and Pitta?
Yes.
Smiles. Oh. We back up pool, we'll call her back.
Okay.
Smile.
Thank you.
You gotta call her.
Do you take with the start with the lemon
Well, it's
water?
gonna have
Yes.
some
The
tea too.
lemon water. Lemon water is here.
The tea.
Yeah.
I like these.
And use the hot cup for tea. Yeah.
They smell, some of them smell like cranberry.
Oh, you need
Oh,
a
this
bigger
one's
cup,
for
I
the
think,
tea?
for the tea.
Yeah.
Right, you said
Yes.
I could drink that smoothie in your big cup.
This one's the tea.
No, that's the
That's
lemon
smoothie,
water.
big cup.
So we need this one for the lemon water.
Did you want lemon water?
Is the lemon water?
No, I'm fine.
It's just warm.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
do this first, and then I'll try that.
Is
Thank
it
you.
hot?
It's warm.
It's warm.
Warm.
Yeah.
It was hot.
Does anybody want lemon water?
I already have mine.
Good.
No,
You
no, I'll
guys
just
talk
take
to
a
the
little
lemon water. I
smoothie.
love it. I drink it almost every day.
Oh, my husband drinks it every single day for 28 years. Every day.
I'm gonna start drinking it instead of coffee.
Yeah.
Can't put coffee.
Oh, this is on empty stomach. It is
Yeah,
not
you do first.
first.
Mhm.
Get up
Yeah,
in the
before.
morning and then
And
take
then I can have.
Do I do it after I
dissolve my
switch?
coffee
Yeah.
then?
Do I do it when
Okay,
I
good.
So which
with
one
the,
is which?
So this is lemon.
the oil?
The oils.
How long you
Before,
have to wait
after
before you-
oil.
Empty
I think
stomach.
Literally,
this
when you
one.
wake up, you do this.
And then you
do your
take the
morning
tea.
ritual.
Then smoothie.
Oh, yeah.
And let me
So first this. and then
Take
in the morning this.
almonds and then squeeze it. Yeah. Come on. Plate is there. Help yourself.
Who wants a plate? Ready?
Matthew, if you want, you can add any sweetener.
Sweet to the tea.
Yes.
Does anybody want some of this? I can
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
serve you guys. I don't know how much. It's a little bit.
There's a lot of food. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna have any, so
No.
you can split my share.
Do you want to take this?
Here,
I was trying to save it.
take the spoon.
Do you want this?
Yes.
We have the trash can here.
Lemon honey or?
Oh, I'm gonna try the tea.
Okay.
Yeah, just.
You want any sweetener to that?
No.
I have 2 sweeteners. You can add it
You can add the milk, that chia milk or whatever you.
to the
Flax.
flax
Flax milk.
milk. Yes.
Did you add to this?
Yes.
To the
you can
tea?
add that. Yes.
To the tea?
Tea. Without any doubt. Yeah. Because tea and coffee and all of that, you do add some kind of milk. Instead of adding dairy, you can add either chia.
So
you
this
know,
would become a
flax milk.
I
vegan
usually add
Yeah.
almond milk.
chai.
So
Yeah.
I didn't see you mix the honey in the water. Does it just dissolve itself?
Yeah,
You don't need to mix?
I did mix.
You did?
I did.
The licorice root is very
Prominent, right? Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, the licorice definitely made it different than the
Yeah.
regular
When
one.
I made
Yes.
them before, I
Yes.
didn't have the licorice stuff.
Yeah.
That was the only.
Because right now the flu is going on, so it's good to have licorice in your tea.
You know, I wonder sometimes when you're sick, then you have a natural craving for certain things.
Yeah.
And I think it probably stems from the imbalance that you have.
That is true, always. But there is something called as craving, different.
No, not the
Yeah.
emotional craving, but
Yeah.
when you're sick or when you're hungry, you know, you crave for certain,
That is.
your base, right?
Yes. you go with that cream.
With the
Give
training,
us
yeah.
some there.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Cut this up with that.
Mm,
It's delicious.
I love dill.
Until it's a good flavor, right? Yeah. Please make yourself comfortable.
Quinoa, but it doesn't taste anything unless you have all these things. It
Correct.
makes it palatable.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, because the quinoa doesn't have a taste.
Yeah,
It's very like
it tastes
bland.
very bland.
Yeah.
I tried doing this survey to see what my type was,
Uh-huh.
and I did it 3 different times. Every time, all 3 of mine were like 5 points apart. It was like they were all really close.
Mine too.
Yeah.
I was like that too. Yeah.
So then it's like really hard to know which one.
You're
I mean,
balanced.
You are not balanced, everybody is balanced, what you are born with. So you are a Tridoshic person, you're not just.
Yeah, but that's
one.
very, very rare, right?
Yeah, that's very rare.
Which one?
Yeah.
This one.
Oh, this one's mine.
Then you don't know what diet to eat.
Well, how is the smoothie?
Good.
Oh, it's good.
There is one smoothie
That was
there.
good.
Oh, this.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
mine.
You need one smoothie? Coming up.
I'll just use the same.
Okay. Did you take some?
Yeah.
And the reason you soak the almonds is so you don't eat the outside?
Outside skin,
Eat that.
Easier to digest.
easier to digest.
It's fun to feel when it's like that.
Isn't it?
Did you take the liquid for us?
I will.
Really yummy.
Delicious. It is spicy.
Shanbhag is in the background.
This is
Please
very
make
nice.
yourself comfortable, all of you.
I could taste the lemon in it too.
2 seconds.
Yeah, 2 seconds.
2 seconds.
It went down to 2 seconds. I used to be 5
Good immunity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna eat all 10 of mine.
Can you use
See,
any kind of
I'm going
quinoa,
with the order
the
first.
different varieties of quinoa, or should it be?
No, you can use all different kind of. And in Ayurveda, it doesn't mean Ayurvedic diet is based on the quality of the food.
How are you doing, Vinny?
So you can
Fine,
do
how are you?
quinoa, cook the quinoa, see the quality of it, and try
You have been
that on
attending
different quality.
events here.
No, I started with
Selfish.
This is so good.
It's delicious.
Oh, I like it. You do this.
I think even the kids
You're
want it.
missing out.
You want some?
Yeah.
I would we call the diet where you're not eating it.
It's more like.
Well, in India, they're called the
Sort of like
Jains, but it's
Oh.
a Buddhist.
Yeah.
I'm on the Buddhist.
Oh, my son's girlfriend had to cut out, hanging out garlic and onions, just because she's been having the symptoms where she feels like.
I'm glad you could come.
Tired.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Good to see you.
Good to be
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so
Ajwain
she's
is
been
very
cutting that
vegan.
out, and she thinks it's helping,
not
but
really.
are there
Oh,
other
Ajwain is
things you
vegan?
do?
yeah.
I don't eat nightshades.
See, sometimes what happens is when I take anything with fiber and protein is good only, but my stomach responds in a different way.
Yeah.
So,
Ajwain is like, you know, when you use wheat or chapati and all of that, if you add a little bit of ajwain, it is very helpful in digestion.
My body type.
So any of the hard to digest food, I use ajwain. Including, I'm not a vegetarian.
So
In my house, I cook fish. When I'm cooking fish, either use garlic or ajwain because that's that good in digestion.
medicine.
yeah, for me sometimes I eat only
Ajwain?
egg. Even the protein in the egg.
Is it?
So that really creates.
It's a seed.
What you
Because
can
the
do
chia
is
seed,
that,
like human seed.
Oh, okay.
first find out the body type.
And
Helps with digestion.
And then there is Ayurveda is so very well researched in those days is that during the birth and till the adolescent, when the body is multiplies, that is you are in
I'm a
a
Pita Vada. I
kapha
have very
time.
little kapha.
When the hormone starts cooking in and all of that, I'm in charge of my life and I'm in charge of everybody else. That is.
How are you enjoying it?
I am enjoying it well, I need
And
to,
then.
I have an appointment that I was pushing back because I
Saturday
had
is the-
All
is
of
the
Yeah,
these
my
busiest
thing,
day
they were
for
all
all.
like 5 appointments.
Yeah.
They are
But,
all
pick up more to
there's
put
a
the
lot
phone
that I
Okay.
connect with, you
And
know,
if you are a
I'm
water
sitting, I'm
person
always moving, I have
and
a
you
hard
are
time just
entering water type,
sitting and watching
Season
the
is busy.
5
Then
movies,
you
so
know
I always,
it
you know,
answers.
I'm always getting off in
Yeah,
my
it's
mind,
getting
so
It's
it's like,
spicy?
Bring it around.
perfect.
Yeah.
So now we
No,
get to
I'm-
busy.
I'm not
For
those.
that,
Yeah.
the idea
Yeah.
is, drinking the
Oh, the
I
call you
find
from the.
myself- oh, yeah.
But there's
I
good,
know,
there is,
I'm
they
not-
meet
I'm
near,
I'm sensitive to that. So I'll see.
Park.
Gets it.
And so it's on
Yeah.
Thursdays,
Some days
but
I'll-
earlier network
So it
group
doesn't
is
really
on
have
Fridays.
lining
No.
up.
That day
My peripheral vision.
travel.
We're having too much fun with him already.
Fridays,
You are getting.
This one works better.
And it's like the middle of the night.
Yeah.
How have you
And
found
also
that?
there's flushing out your
For you.
stomach. Flushing
Wife-
very
wife
bad.
shoots
All the
her
nurses-
How do you, how do you
And always what happens, water.
Okay, like it's a lot of work, I have to spend a lot of time on it.
No, that's discovery.
They have a lot of.
Now you can tell her that you know how to do it already.
Chia seed.
It seems like fun.
Eventually, you meet professional people, you kind of take a professional.
Because that takes good cereal and all that.
sometimes.
Idea would be probiotic.
I used to make probiotic.
Then
So are you part of any?
But the body is actually
I have one that another client invited me to.
Coming and enjoying the class. I have one small request of you is that so this is the request I have is that do use the recipes because this is not just about tasting. Now you saw the wonderful demonstrations, you saw the benefit of it, you understood the information about the foods and the herbs and how to use them for body type. And then another request that I have is that since Gaia took all this time and trouble to prepare all of this and share the information and answer your questions, if you could go on the Yelp site and give her a 5-star Yelp review, she would really appreciate that. And in fact, our manager will send you a link tomorrow. So feel free to take just a couple minutes to just share what you enjoyed, how you liked it, so that more people can benefit from it instead of them just doing a drive-through McDonald's hamburger in the morning for breakfast. There are easier ways of making simpler, healthier, customized, yummy breakfast. Like you saw, everything is tasty and yummy.
Actually, I did Dr. Shanbhag. I actually put it on the Facebook.
Oh, excellent.
In my Facebook. So
Excellent.
I just saw like so many people probably would be interested in. So if you have another class like that, you should probably let us know so we can
Yeah,
let people in our.
she was scared that she did not want more people. She wanted to have a she wanted a very small
I
group
wanted a
and.
small group. The reason is that when I'm cooking, you have to explain and you have to show and tell.
It takes so long.
Yeah. But thank you for doing that. So when she's ready for a bigger group, okay, we will need it.
Or
I have
frequent
one.
classes when, so we know.
Right.
Okay.
So I think she is soon going to be ready for a bigger group.
Lemon tea in the back right here.
Yeah, so good.
No, my Ayurvedic,
Okay.